thanks for coming back to my presentation. I will be talking about the benefits of legalizing marijuana. So this is the outline that I will focus on today. I will talk about the history first. So marijuana was commonly known before as cannabis. It all started in the 18th century and it was used for the production of paper, clothes, ropes, candles, and fuel for cars. Yet the clothes made from cannabis was really cheap, so yeah. John D. Rockefeller and Andrew Carnegie wanted to eliminate the acceptance of herbal treatments, meaning cannabis, and replace it with drugs from the laboratory, which it created conflict with cannabis or marijuana as we know it today. Some political influences that it had is that by 1937, cannabis was commonly known as marijuana. So most of the political people started voting for the Marijuana Tax Act, which was approved by President Roosevelt. And then we had the Controlled Substance Act signed by Nixon. This had where we should enforce more to who gets to consume marijuana. As we can see now, a lot of teenagers, a lot of kids are consuming it. Even our kids from 10 years old are consuming it. So we should make an enforcement on it, just like alcohol. Not all teenagers or kids are able to consume it until they're 21 years old. So we should do the same thing for marijuana. And for recreational use, we should just have it for certain people who actually need it and not just for everyone. Yet, it really doesn't create any damage to our people, to other people. Some economical influences is that if we legalize marijuana, there will be a lower cartel profits and it will end narcotics, since most of the marijuana is being exported from Mexico to the USA, and that's how Kozlov and Kozlov has said on their article. And in the documentary of Grass and Skinner, Bernard Noble was one of the people who was being sentenced for 14 years in prison just for 2 joints worth of marijuana, meaning that he really wasn't doing any harm to anyone. He was just relaxing, taking his time off, and just putting everything aside, just like we all be doing. There's people who do it just to relax, right? So my point here is that police priority should be on criminal people who actually do robberies, who do assaults, who rape people, instead of focusing on people who are consuming marijuana who really don't cause any damage. Some medical benefits is that Douglas Field has mentioned on his article, THC seems to have a protective effect on adults. Why so? So brain cells are more mature than on teenagers. Teenagers are still developing their brain cells. And Dr. Michael Hart, on his pod debate, he talks about how it helps cancer and Alzheimer. So how it helps Alzheimer and cancer is that THC boosts neurotransmitter acetylcholine, which it helps to relieve some pain, and it helps with chemotherapy, so people won't feel as bad as they normally do. So how it has taken its role in music, it all started in Asia and then it moved to the USA by 1900s through the trade routes. 1910, it was commonly known in El Paso, New Orleans. So the role in music marijuana has helped is that it helps writers concentrate and makes music more exciting. Just like in jazz, a lot of people who played in jazz, who were musicians in jazz, were really hyped about it. But it also killed a lot of opportunities for the people, for the writers, since it's been said that marijuana is causing a lot of negative effects on people, but yet we still have music that talks about sex stuff and no one does nothing about it. So why should we do anything for marijuana? So in conclusion, marijuana is not dangerous. We should restrict it to a certain age, and if no one follows it, they should be punished or given fines. And we can see how it has helped economically and political, and it has better medical influences, and it makes our role in music be greater. Do you guys have any questions? Yes?
So what would be the correct age for people to consume the substance, since people